Welcome to Neon Static. I'm Nick.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Jeff, also known as Zendrin.
Yes, and we are bringing you here the final game from our March 25th circuit opener startup format. We have Dave on the right playing Built to Last, just kind of a glacier-y deck. And then Not Again on the left playing Ken Tenma, just running all the time.
And we've got a very aggressive start out here from Built to Last. Just install a piece of ice, install an Oaktown Renovation, and advance it for plus 2 credits, right? If I'm remembering my math. It's plus 1 on Oaktown and plus 1 on... Oh, no, it's going to be plus 3, yeah.
Yeah, plus 3, yeah.
Yeah, dropping the Oaktown immediately. Whoops. Dropping the Oaktown immediately is very aggressive. Not only is it against a criminal who could just inside job you and immediately take that, but it's really it's an agenda. And this is the startup format, so for players who are more familiar with standard, you can't have dropped an NGO front or Rashida or anything behind that as well. Obviously, with the card showing, it takes all the question out of it. But we see a Nuka coming down for card draw.
I kind of missed what Not Again actually did in the first turn, other than install security testing and presumably drew some.
I believe so, yeah.
Because I didn't see any central runs, which I feel like is when you can get away, when they're free and you don't have other tempo forward plays, not too bad, but maybe Not Again was really looking to get more draw on the table.
So I think that's a scrubber. We saw Carmen come down.
Man, scrubbers. Actually, never mind. This would be me dunking on startup, which is not the point of this conversation. But I never understand why scrubber ends up in every startup deck.
I think Scrubber did some work for Not Again on the day. There was a fair amount of asset spam out there.
Yeah.
What was that?
That's the
Wake implant.
Ah, that's right.
Actually, impressed how crisp the art is on this tiny recording window we're looking at.
I could make it bigger.
No, it's all good. I'm just teasing.
It's happening.
So we're just, Criminal's just kind of poking around saying, I've actually got a good chunk of setup. There's not too much, I guess, he feels like he can do against the remote. So just wanted to get some accesses.
We see a Spin Doctor there on the right.
Getting used after 2 accesses on HQ. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, that was interesting. Maybe I do know this was the end of a fairly long day. Dave was a little burnt out. So maybe he just didn't realize that he had the option on the table to thin out any agendas in his hand.
Yeah, the risk is, though, it may not be thinning, because you might just draw 2 agendas and up your density. And I'm sure you could do the calculation on what your expected EV is on both sides, but I don't know.
We saw Meskarovka exposed there. So I think that the spin, like you said, it was after several accesses, but it was just to try and pad the hand.
So that's what install,
discard a
government subsidy, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it was even discard. I think it was play, because credits are now at 17. Yeah.
And it's face up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And at some point, unfortunately, it might have been covered up by the card art there. We saw an advance on that face down in the remote.
Yeah, I think that was actually over a turn ago, because I remember Now Again kind of poking centrals while that card was in there.
Mm-hmm.
So could be a trap, honestly.
Security testing there, kind of a retconning that turn. Dave's
security testing is one of those cards that I'm like, regardless of what the organized play policies are, there's a lot of strong assumptions where, if you've been declaring archives literally every turn, you're still declaring archives, and if you forgot to say at the start, I'm personally okay with rewinding that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this was a pretty casual event. Got a lot of spectators. Many crotches around the table.
Yeah, everyone's best angle, really.
Yeah.
Oh, and there we got the ice on archives.
Yeah, so really trying to
Just
glacier up
stop it.
against this kind of run-based scrim.
Oh, double sure gamble. All right.
Feels good. Yeah, runner sitting, it looks like, I'm guessing, at 13 credits based on how they just manipulated the credit pool.
I think that's.
They're playing the sure gambles.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was seeing a little bit of red underneath some of it, but that's just Ken's jacket.
We see a Zenit chip. Kidding. That's a tread lightly that just got trashed because of the Zenit core damage.
Yeah, when the corp's on 21 credits, maybe you don't care that much about the tread lightly, or maybe that's when you care the most about tread lightly. I don't know exactly how you decide there.
Right. So we saw it install something, an upgrade, and there we go. That's Vladimir City Grid.
Vladisibirsk.
Thank you. Scoring out an off-world office.
I think, though, I think that was actually effectively fast advanced, because the Vladisibirsk grid kind of was sitting there with the banked advancement counters. So the off-world can be installed advanced, and then you can use the Vladisibirsk grid to score it out. I almost wonder if people are underplaying this in standard a little bit. Though it doesn't quite fit into any of the top meta decks at the moment, it is a strong enough interaction to maybe be warranted as its own little piece.
It's very strong, and notably, those counters don't necessarily need to go on an agenda. They can go on another card in the root of the server, including things like traps. So,
Or ice, depending.
In the root of the server, so not ice.
Oh, in the root. Gotcha.
But like, say, a clearinghouse. That is a card that you could change tack and dump those before, in the last window, right before the end of the runner's turn.
Yeah, I think if you if you have 4 counters on the Vladisibirsk grid, you can move all 4 of them on if the clearinghouse is already installed on that server during the runner's turn, because you could do 2 at the end of their turn and then 2 at the payability window at the start of your turn before start of your turn triggers happen, because that's how phases work in Netrunner, and also how the names were come up by very clear thinking and forward looking people.
Yes. Yeah. The fact that start of turn is not the first thing that happens at the start of your turn is just the clearest, most easy to understand part of this game, let me tell you.
So Chesva come down and pitching a no free lunch. Chesva provides a lot of credits.
How do you feel about the state as the runner, Nick?
So the thing that we're not seeing is breakers. There's Carmen, right?
Yeah.
But there's 7 ice on the table. That is a lot to have to run at.
None of it rezzed.
Right. And the corp just sitting on all the money in the world, too. So all of it could be rezzed. So that's the Maskurovka.
Right? Serpentine's firing here.
Chesvo. Is it? What?
No, it's Maskurovka. And the Serpentine's firing Maskurovka. 2 credits, ends the run.
Yeah, it's a funny looking ice wall, really. But
Yep.
We have another run here on HQ. We see a Stavka.
All right. It looks like we're going to sack the Spin Doctor to make it very annoying for the runner to break.
7 strength.
But they do have the Carmen out, so it is breakable.
Mm-hmm.
Breaks and then jacks out.
Yep, I think that makes a lot of sense because if the corp is doing something like that to tax you out, it maybe suggests that there's a second stavka or something else that you maybe can't afford behind it.
Yeah, that's a whoredom.
Yeah, corp's money just dropped down a lot though, right? Now they're at 14. So I actually like this play by Ken of just saying, no, let's make you spend a whole bunch at once. Now, of course, Dave's ice right here has given him back 5 credits on these res costs. So
Right.
Yeah.
Especially with that second Maskarovka giving more credits back. Here we go. We have install in a new remote.
at
Dave
some
using
point,
Dave using L5R tokens to count his clicks here.
and L5R sleeves. I wonder what game Dave played quite recently.
He's even got the L5R box up at the top, the Spider Clan from the old game.
See a hedge fund.
I'm expecting at some point to see the Vladisibirsk grid advanced, but because it is credit positive, but Dave hasn't had to click for a credit yet, so it's not like he's even lost money there.
Yeah, that's another notable interaction between Built to Last and the Vladigrib is getting to advance 2 things twice, for the first time to get credits on both of them.
Right.
And then if you do the second one on the Vladigrid, you can do a 3 advance thing and get 2 credits back, which is wild.
Yeah, I think in this state you can if you advance the agenda and then the Vlad grid twice, you make 4 credits and you spent 3, so you end up plus a credit while scoring an agenda, possibly from hand. Yeah. Very
Not
nice
too many
math
options to score from hand is on 3 in his deck. I believe mostly like 4. There, there's hostile takeovers, of course, in the deck for getting them across the finish line, but mostly 4-pointers. Besides that, what's the Wayland 3/2?
Project Atlas, I would be a little surprised not to see in the deck.
That's right. I'm sorry. Yes, Project Atlas.
Yeah, Project Atlas is maybe the strongest over advanceable 3/2, I think. Just generically, there's definitely situations where that hasn't been the case, but being able to tutor optionally as a 4/2 is quite powerful. It's like a little bit of a board state repair going on, maybe.
We see a Shatuska and a Pinhole Threading getting discarded there. The Pinhole, massively useful here to get rid of the Vladigrid.
Well, kind of, right? His only open option to run at is that Spin Doctor, which you cancel the run.
That's true.
Otherwise, he does still have to go through ice that he can't get through.
Not against just desperate to find a breaker here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't seen any mutual favors either, which definitely...
I know one got discarded. No, sorry. I'm thinking of the last game that we watched.
Yes.
Not again. Inside jobbing on R&D, getting past the Maskarovka and finding another Maskarovka, which fires and gets more money back for Dave.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Costing Dave a credit. Just...
Yeah. Hey, making 7 credits back off resin ice is a pretty cool Wayland thing. So
we see a Cat's Cradle on the table there.
All right, so now we're getting some advancements.
I think that was down at some point and I just missed it.
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe we all missed it because it does look like everything else. Okay. So now we're up and we're ready to run. We've got 2 cybernetics installed. So Tremolo is now
1 money to break.
It's a cleaver now, basically, but it's a little bit lower base strength. It's a little bit better than cleaver, depending.
Dave's on 4 points now. I see the off-world, and I can't remember. Oh, the Oaktown.
Yep. And we've got some massive 5 potential advancements in the remote. Seems like we're at.
What is that in?
That's a clearinghouse.
Move it over with the Vladisibirsk and Flatline.
It's like,
That's it. That's the game.
Yep,
Yeah, flatline.
Yep. Oof.
yeah, I mean, that's a nice out for the built to last stack.